Guys, in the last session, we are trying to understand what is Git and what are the branches in the Git and why we need to go for branches, how to create Git branches, how to check out particular branch, how to switch from one branch to another branch, and how to merge the changes from one branch to another branch. Can you please tell me what is Git and why we need to go for Git? What is the Git and why we need to go for the Git? Git is a place where we can create our repository. So could you please tell me what is a repository? Repository is a place which is used to store project source code at one place. Now, multiple developers will be available. All the developers' code should be integrated at one place. For that, we are going for the Git. So multiple teams will be available. All the teams should store their source code at one place. For that, we are going for Git repository. So do you know some commands in the Git? What are the commands that we learned as of now? Git help command, config command, init command, add, status, commit, remote, push, clone, restore, log, rm, revert, pull. So what is the purpose of a pull command? What is the purpose of pull command? It is used to download the latest changes from remote repository to local repository. We will go for pull command. What is the clone command? If you want to download the complete project from remote repository to local, then we will go for clone command. What is the push command? If you want to push the changes from our local to central, that means remote, then we will go for push command. What is the commit command? If you want to commit the changes from staging area to local repository, then we will go for commit command. So we have seen the Git architecture like this. Our working tree will be available, staging area will be available, local repository and remote repository. Working tree means where we are writing our code, the files which we are creating will be in the working tree. How to represent our folder as a working tree? Git init command. In this working tree, whatever the files I have modified or created, I want to make them eligible for commit. How to add the files eligible for commit? By using git add command. When I execute git add command, the files will be added to staging area. Can you tell me what is a staging area? Staging area represents which files are eligible for commit, which files are not eligible for commit. Then what is git commit command? What is git commit command? From staging area, I want to commit the files to local repository. From the local, I want to send to remote repository. Then I will go for git push command. Git pull to take the latest changes. Git clone to download the complete repository to our local. Now tell me, what is a branch in the GitHub? Why we need to go for a branch in the GitHub? What is a branch in the GitHub? Why we need to go for branch? In the project, multiple development teams will be available like R&D team, production team, CR team, enhancement team will be available. When multiple teams are working parallelly, code integrations will become very difficult. That's where we are going to create the branches. What are the branches we can see in the project? Main branch, develop branch, feature branch, research, staging, and release. Like that, multiple branches will be available. Now, when I clone the repository, which branch I will get by default? When I clone the repository, which branch I will get by default? By default, I will get the main branch. Can I clone the particular branch? Yes, git clone -b. So do you know how to switch from one branch to another branch? Yes. How can we switch from one branch to another branch? By using git checkout command, we can switch. Can I merge the changes from one branch to another branch? Can I merge the changes from one branch to another branch? Yes. So here I am having main branch. I'm having a main branch. From this main branch, I created develop branch. So by default, main branch will be created. From the main branch, I'm going to create a develop branch. I want to do my coding in the develop branch. Once my code is completed in the develop branch, I want to merge my changes from develop branch to main branch. That is called branch merging. How to do that branch merging? How to do the branch merging? To do the branch merging, we are creating a pull request. What is pull request? Why we need to go for pull request? What is a pull request and why we need to go for pull request? If you want to merge the changes from one branch to another branch, then we will go for pull request. Perfect. Now guys, today let's understand some interview questions related to Git. So they will ask a question, Git clone versus Git pull. Git clone versus Git pull. And they will ask a question, Git push versus Git pull. And what is Git stash command? And they will ask, what is Git fetch versus Git pull? Right? And they will ask a question, Git merge versus Git rebase. Okay, these are very common interview questions for developers as well as for the DevOps engineers also. Every developer should work with the Git repository to store their code. Now, when we are working with the Git repository, we should know all these commands and what is the difference between these commands and when to go for which command also we need to understand. Already we know what is a clone and what is a pull. Can you tell me what is a clone and what is a pull? Clone is used to download the complete project from remote repository to our local repository. Let me log in into my GitHub account. Yeah. Right. So these are our repositories, guys. I'm having one React application. I want to download this application from remote repository to my local. Then what I can do? So here, I will go here. I will delete this. I want to download that project. I will go to git bash and I will use a command called git clone command and I'm giving repository URL. Clone. I'm able to download the project from remote repository to my local repository. After downloading this project from the remote to the local, somebody modified the file in the remote repository. Assume that they have added some line in that file, expose 3000. Something like this, the file is modified. I have committed the changes. Assume that somebody committed those changes. Now, I will go for cd space react application, then git pull command. What the pull command will do here? What is the pull command will do? When I execute the pull command, it will download only latest changes. That means clone is used to get the complete project from remote repository to local repository. Pull command is used to download only latest changes from remote repository to local repository. Then what is the push command? What is the push command? If I make some changes, now assume that here I'm writing one file I'm creating, touch f3.txt. Touch f3.txt. Let me go for git status. That file is in the modified state. I want to make that file eligible for commit. I want to make that file eligible for commit. How can I make that file eligible for commit? By using git add dot. By using git add dot, I can add the file to the staging area. Now I want to commit this file. Git commit -m message modified file or created new file. Created new file. Now I want to push it. What is the command? Git push command. When I execute git push command, what will happen? My file is pushed to remote repository. Now go to the React application. Can you see the file is pushed to remote repository? Yes, F3 file is pushed to remote repository. So what is the difference between push and pull? What is the difference between push and pull? Push is used to push our changes from local repository to remote repository. Pull is used to download the latest changes from remote repository to our local repository. Now we need to understand fetch versus pull, stash command, merge versus rebase. Guys, give me 1 minute. All right, fine guys. Now let's try to understand what is the difference between fetch and pull. Now here I am having my git remote repository. In the git remote repository, assume that I am making some changes. Let's go and edit. Let me change the expose as something like 4,000. I'm keeping the expose as 4,000 in the Docker file and I'm committing my change. So when I do the commit, that is reflected in the remote repository. Directly I modified the file in the remote repository. Now, if you go and see in my local, the Docker file, what is the expose value available? 3,000. What is the expose value in the remote repository? 4,000. Now I want to take the latest change. To take the latest change, there are two commands available. One is fetch command, another one is pull command. When I go for pull command, observe when I'm executing git pull command, it will verify what are the latest changes available in the git repository and directly it will download those latest changes to our working tree. It will download latest changes directly to our working tree. Let me execute git pull command. Now can you see what happened here? Is it downloading latest changes from remote repository to our working tree or not? It is downloading latest changes from remote repository to our working tree. Now let's go and check in the working tree. Docker file, open this file. Can you see? Whatever the change that is there in the remote repository, is it reflecting in my local or not? Is it reflecting in the local or not? Yes, whatever the change happened in the remote repository, when I execute pull command, that change is reflecting in my local. Now let me go for one more command called fetch command. Now let me edit this. Now I'm changing this value to 5,000. Expose value I'm keeping as, what happened today, man? Yeah, I'm changing this value to 5,000. Let me commit my change. Let me commit my change. I committed my change with expose 5,000. Now in my local, what is the value available? 4,000 is available. Now here I'm executing a command called git fetch command. Earlier I executed pull command. When I execute pull command, what happened? When I execute pull command, what happened? It downloaded latest changes from remote repository to our local repository. Now I am going for git fetch command. Now I executed git fetch command. Can you see what happened here? It is able to recognize that there are some changes available in the remote repository. Go to our file and verify that changes are loaded to our working tree. Changes are not loaded to working tree. Our changes are not loaded to working tree. So now tell me, what is the difference between fetch command and pull command? What is the difference between fetch command and pull command? Whenever we use pull command, sir, can you call office boy once? Ask him to check it there. Guys, 1 minute. Whenever we use git pull command, it is a checking, are there any changes in the remote repository? If changes are there in the remote repository, it will download the changes to our working tree directly. But when we go for git to fetch command, it will just mic chudo sir cut avutundadi. This. Guys, 1 minute, online students. All right, fine. Now, guys, when I execute git pull, Sai, better. Yeah. When I execute git pull command, directly it downloaded the changes from remote repository to our working tree. But when I execute fetch command, observe guys, when you execute git fetch command, it will verify, are there any changes available in the remote repository? From the remote repository, changes will come to our local repository, but not to the working tree. Able to follow me? When I execute pull command from the remote repository, directly changes are coming to our working tree. But when I execute fetch command, what is happening? It is checking, are there any changes available in the remote repository? If changes are available in the remote repository, from the remote it will get to the local. From the local, the changes are not coming to the working tree. If you want to verify, really, do we have any changes in the remote repository? Then we will go for fetch command. When I execute the fetch command, it has downloaded the changes to local, but not to the working tree. From here, if I want to get the changes, then we will go for pull command. When I execute pull command, what happened? From the local, it gave the changes to the working tree. So now, if you want to directly download the changes from the remote to the working tree, you can go for pull command. I don't want to download from remote to the working tree. I want to download from remote repository to local. From the local, I want to get to the working tree. Then you need to go for git to fetch plus git pull. If you go for git pull, directly it is downloading the changes from remote repository to local repository. So now tell me, what is git fetch versus git pull? Git fetch is used to download the changes from remote to local, but not to the working tree. What is git pull? Directly it will download from the remote repository to your working tree. Right. Now let me go for another command that is called git stash command. Let's understand a scenario, guys. To understand this stash command, let me explain some scenario. Now here, guys, assume that manager assigned a bug fix. Manager assigned a bug fix. That bug number, bug 123 at 9 a.m. IST. Assume that he assigned a bug at 9 a.m. IST. For you, you are a developer in the team. For you, manager assigned a bug fix. That bug number 123 at 9 a.m. IST, he assigned that bug. Now you are working on that. You are working on bug fixing. You modified several files. Several Java classes are available. You modified Java classes. Now, your bug fix is not completed. You are in the middle. Some Java classes you modified, code changes you have done. But still, your bug fix is not completed. At 9 o'clock, they assigned a bug ID 123. You are working on the bug fixing. You modified Java classes. At 11 a.m., manager told to work on bug number 130. It is high priority. Manager told to work on bug number 130, that is high priority. Are you guys getting my point? Now, 9 to 11, you are working on the bug number 123. You have done some code changes in the project. Your code changes are not completed. You are in the middle. You are in the middle of the bug fix. At 11 o'clock, manager told that, hey Raju, 123 bug is low priority now. We got here another critical bug in the project, that is bug number 130. First you need to fix bug 130 and commit your changes to the remote repository. Once bug 130 completed, then you continue your work on the 123. Are you able to follow me? Now here at 11 o'clock, what is your working tree status? At 11 o'clock, what is your working tree status? Come on, at 11 o'clock, what is your working tree status? In the working tree, we are having the changes related to 123. But what they told, stop 123. Start working on the 130. What about the changes I have done for 123? 20 Java classes I have modified. Should I remove all the changes? If I remove my changes, what is the problem? If I remove my changes at 11 o'clock related to 123, what is the problem? Time waste, right? From 2 hours, we have done some coding. Several Java classes we have modified. I'm doing my work related to 123 bug fixing. At 9 o'clock, I have started. By 11 o'clock, I modified 10 Java classes. Then at 11 o'clock, manager told that, hey, stop it. Whatever the work you have done, stop it. You need to work on bug number 130. So if I want to work on the bug 130, what about the changes I have done for 123? I'm in the middle. Can I commit my changes? Can I commit my changes? No. Why I cannot commit? Why I cannot commit? My changes are not completed. I'm in the middle of a bug fixing. My bug is not fixed. My coding is not completed. I cannot commit my changes. If I commit my changes, existing functionality may disturb. I cannot commit. Can I remove my changes? If I remove my changes, what is the problem? What is the problem if I remove my changes? Time waste. Whatever the 2 hours of time I have spent, my time will be wasted. So here, whatever the code changes I have done for the bug number 123, I need to save those changes to one temporary area and I need to work on the bug number 130. Once bug 130 completed, I will commit the changes related to 130. Then I will get my changes back related to 123. For that, we are going to use a command called git stash command. Right? You understand the scenario? Simple. You are doing some work. Manager told you to stop that work and continue the other work. Once 130 completed, then you need to come back to 123. Able to follow me? Fine. Now let us see here. Let me take one Java project. Let me go for my repositories. Let me take one Spring Boot application. Now, here Spring Boot Gradle application is available. Let me clone this project by using git to clone command. So here show more options. Git bash here. Git clone repository URL. I have cloned it. Fine. Git cloning is completed. Let's go to this project. SRC main Java. Now there is one Java class available. Boot application.java. Edit this. Edit this. Now here in this application, I am writing one more method. I'm writing one more method. This method is not completed, guys. I'm working on that. So I can say it is in progress. It is in progress. Get greet. Now like this, I have given one method. This method I am creating for bug number 123. This method I am working on the bug number 123. My method is not completed. I'm in the middle of the development. This method I have created to fix the bug number 123. But what that manager told is, boss, stop your development. Whatever you are making, stop it. You first work on the bug number 130. Once you commit 130 changes, then you work on the 123. So when I am committing the changes related to 130, should I commit this bug changes or I should not commit that bug changes? I should not commit that bug changes, right? I'm in the middle of the coding related to bug number 123. Manager told me, stop it. Work on the bug number 130. Once 130 completed, then you continue on the 123. I'm doing simple example, guys. In our house, assume that you are watching a movie. You are watching a movie. You are in the middle of the movie. Suddenly your mother called you and she asked, go and get one milk packet. Then what you will do? What you will do? Will you continue the movie or you will pause the movie? You will pause the movie. You will go outside. You will get the milk packet. Give it to her. After that, you will continue your movie watching. You are passing that movie there. You are going outside. You are completing the high priority task. Once the high priority task is completed, you will continue watching the movie from where you have passed it. Are you getting my point? Same concept here also. You are working on the bug number 123. So when you are in the middle, manager told you do some other bug fix. Then what you need to do? You stop it here. First you complete the priority task. Once the priority task is completed, then you continue your 123 task here. But here the thing is, when I am committing my changes related to bug number 133, 123 related changes should not be committed. Why should not be committed? It is not completed. Partially development is completed. If I commit it, existing functionality will be disturbed. If I remove the code, time waste will happen. Whatever the time I spend, my time will be wasted. How to handle this scenario? This is very common scenario in the real time. Now let's observe. I started developing one method. My method related to 123. Now manager gave the another task. How I will handle this? So now let me go for Git repository here. So this is my project. I have done some changes to that project. Go to this Git bash, open Git bash here. Now, if you see Git status, what happened? My Java class is modified or not? My Java class is modified here. Should I commit or I should not commit? I should not commit. Now, I will execute a command called git stash command. What is the command I am executing? Git stash command. Now see here, git stash. When I execute git stash command, whatever changes that are available in the working tree, those changes will be stored to one temporary area. In the git bash, it will store my changes which are available in the working tree. Now, let's execute the git status. What it is saying now? What it is saying now? So changes are available or changes are not available? Not available. Now go to our Java class, which I have modified. So 123 method is available or not available? Did I commit it? Did I delete it? What I have done? I have done the git stash. I have done the git stash. Now, this method I am modifying. Suppose, for example, integer I is equal to 10. This method I have modified for the bug number 130. Some code I have done for that. Now, if I commit and push, which changes will be committed and pushed? Only 130 changes will be pushed. Now go to our Git repository here. Go to our Git repository. Now let me go for Git status. Same file it is showing as modified. Let me go for git add dot, then git commit -m. What is the message? Bug fix for 130. Bug fix 130. Now go for git push. I'm pushing my changes. Go to our GitHub repository. Go to our Java class main boot application.java. In the boot application.java, which change is pushed, guys? Which change is pushed now? Only 130 bug change is pushed. What about 123 method? Is it pushed or it is not pushed? Now my priority task is completed. Once my priority task is completed, I want my work back. Whatever the code I have done for 123, I want to get that work back. In order to get that work back, here we will use a command called git stash apply. What is the command? Git stash apply. Execute. I have executed git stash apply. Now go to this file. Am I able to get my method back? Yes. Now tell me, what is the purpose of git stash command? So when you are working on some task, if you get some priority task, whatever the changes are available in the working tree, those changes we are going to stash. Then we will work on the priority task. Once the priority task changes are pushed to the remote repository, I will go for git stash apply. What is the stash? What is the stash apply? Git stash is used to save our working tree changes to some temporary area. Once the priority task is completed, then what I will do? I will apply my stash, git stash apply. If you go for git stash apply, what happened? My changes which are stashed coming back to my working tree. Able to understand? So this is also very common requirement in the project. In the morning 9 o'clock, they will assign some task. In the afternoon, they may change the task. Depends on the project priority. So manager assigned a task 123 at 9 a.m. You are working on bug fixing. You modified some Java classes, fully not completed. You are in the middle. But at 11 o'clock, manager called and told that, hey Ashok, stop it. 123, stop it for now. Because we got some other bug, which is most important to fix it now. So you first fix 130 bug and you push the changes related to 130. Once 130 completed, you continue your work on the 123. I'm in the middle of the changes. I cannot delete the changes. I cannot commit the changes because half of the fixing is completed, but not fully. If I commit, existing functionality may not work. If I remove, my 2 hours effort will be wasted. In that scenario, we will go for git stash command. What is happening when I go for git stash command? What is happening when I go for git stash command? When I go for git stash command, our working tree changes are storing to some temporary area. And when you work on the priority task, once the priority task is completed, then you go for stash apply. Whatever the changes you store it to stash area, those changes will come back to working tree. Are you clear? Now tell me, what is fetch and pull? What is the difference between fetch and pull? Pull is going to download the changes from the remote repository to working tree directly. But what about fetch? Fetch will directly download from the remote to local, but not to the working tree. How to get the changes from local to working tree? Again, we need to execute the pull command. So pull is fetch plus pull. When you go for pull, directly download from remote to working tree. When you go for fetch, remote to local. From local to working tree. Got my point? Yes. Next one, we need to understand what is git merge and git rebase. Git merge versus git rebase. So already we discussed git branches. Now in the project, multiple branches will be available. Why we need to go for multiple branches? Why we need to go for multiple branches? If you want to merge the changes from one branch to another branch, then you will go for pull request, right? So some teams will be like this. In the real time, our project will be available. For the project, a repository will be available. Let's assume that it is a GitHub repo. In this GitHub repo, there is one branch called main branch is available. There is one branch called main branch available, and I'm having develop branch, QA branch is available, and release branch is available. Some people, instead of QA, they will make it as a feature branch also. So multiple teams can work on the repository parallelly by using branches concept. Main branch, develop branch, feature branch, and release branch. Developers has done their code in the develop branch. Developers has done the code in the develop branch. Now, whatever the changes which are having in the develop, I want those changes to be available in the main branch also. Then how to do that? How to do that, guys? Whatever the changes we have in the develop branch, those changes I want to merge into main branch. How to do changes merging from one branch to another branch? By using pull request. Pull request we are using to merge the changes from one branch to another branch in the GitHub. So I am having my GitHub repository. How many branches are available? Currently only one branch is available. Let me do this. Git to restore. I will discard my changes. Right. Fine. So let me check it here. Git status. Currently nothing is available here. Now close this. This is my repository, guys. Let me clone the repository once again. I'm deleting that. Now here I have my repository. Currently how many branches are there? One branch available. Do you know how to create a new branch? Yes, how to create a new branch? Create a branch. I'm typing develop. I'm typing develop. Create a branch, develop from main. Now with this, my develop branch also created. So total there are two branches available. One is main branch and another one is the develop branch. Now I want to clone it. Can you tell me the syntax to clone? What is the syntax to clone that? Go for git bash and execute git clone command. Git clone command, and I'm giving the repository URL. I have cloned my repository. Now, whenever I clone it, by default, which branch will come? How to check the which branch is coming by default? By using git branch. Currently, I'm pointing to which branch? Main branch. Can I switch to develop branch? Yes. How can I switch it, guys? Git checkout develop. Git checkout develop. Currently, I'm pointing to which branch? Currently, I'm pointing to develop branch. Can I come back to main branch also? Can I come back to main branch also? How can I do that? Git checkout main. Now, currently, I switch it to main branch. Now, observe here, guys. Now, here, let me take a scenario. I am having a main branch here. Assume that this is a main branch. Okay. From this main branch, now I have created a branch called develop. I created a branch called develop branch in the main branch. Develop branch is created. Right. Now let me switch to that develop branch. Git checkout develop. I switch it to develop branch. In this develop branch, I'm creating one file. Assume that. I'm creating one file with a name called f1.txt. Some file I'm creating in the develop branch. Is that file available in the main branch? That file is not available in the main branch. Where I created that file? I created that file in the develop branch. Let me do that. Clear. Touch f1.txt. File is created in the develop branch. Let us check the status. f1.txt file is available. Git add that file. Then go for git commit -m f1 file added in develop. F1 file is added in the develop branch. Now let me go for git push also. I have done the git push. Now go to the repository. In the develop branch, if you observe, f1.txt file is created. That file is available in the main branch, or that file is not available in the main branch. that file is not available in the main branch. Now, whatever the changes are available in the develop branch, I want to merge the changes to main branch. How can I do that? There are three ways available. There are three ways available. One is by using pull request, you can do that. And the second one is by using git merge command, you can do that. And the second one is by using git rebase command, we can do that. Are you able to follow me? So whatever the changes that are available in the develop branch, I want to bring the changes to main branch also. When I bring the changes to the main branch, the develop branch changes will be merged to main branch. In general, in the reality, people will be using pull request only. In the real time, when we are merging the changes from one branch to another branch, which concept we will use? We are going to use a concept called pull request. Use a concept called pull request. Suppose I don't want to go for pull request. I want to merge one branch changes to another branch from the CLI. From the git bash, I want to do that. To do that from the git bash, either I can go for git merge command or I can go for git rebase command. Sir, why two commands are available for merging? The reason is git merge command will maintain committee history. In which order the files are committed, it will preserve the committee history. When I am merging the changes, I want to maintain the committee history. Which file is committed to develop branch, which file is committed to main branch. When the branch merging is happened, I want to maintain the committee history clearly. So I want to preserve the committee history. When you want to preserve the committee history, then you can go for merge command. When you go for rebase command, committee history will not be preserved. It is going to cache all the commits which are available. Now, currently the file is pushed to which branch? Develop branch. That file is available in the main branch, or that file is not available in the main branch? Not available in the main branch. Can I create a pull request? Yes. What I can do by using pull request? One branch changes, I can merge it to another branch. I don't want to go for pull request. I want to go for merge command. Now, here, let me show you this git bash clearly. Yes. Go to these files. Currently, f1.txt file is available, guys. f1.txt file is available. Okay. Currently, I am pointing to which branch? Develop branch. Can you see f1.txt file available? Yes. Let me switch git checkout main. Observe, when I am switching to the main branch, f1 file will be available or will not be available. Checkout main. When I check out, f1 is coming or not coming? Not coming. Why? Why the f1 file is not displaying now? That f1 file I push it to develop. When I switch to main branch, it is not available. Now I want to get the changes from the develop branch to main branch. What I can do now? Git merge develop. What is the meaning? Currently, I am pointing to which branch? Main branch. What I am doing now? Git merge develop. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? Whatever the latest changes are available in the develop branch, get those changes to main branch also. Good. Execute it. Now, can you see F1 file came now? F1 file came now or not? Yes, F1 file came now by using merge command. So tell me, what is the purpose of merge? What is the purpose of git merge? It is used to merge the changes from one branch to another branch. Same thing I can do by using rebase also. Now, let me go here. Currently, I am in the main branch. I want to go to develop. Git checkout develop. I am in the develop branch. Let me create one file, touch f2.txt. Now, git add dot. That file is added to staging area. Git commit -m f2 file added in develop branch. Then do git push. I have committed some files to develop branch. Now, I'm in the develop branch, F1 available, F2 available. Go to main branch. How to go for main branch? Git checkout main. Which file is available? Only F1 file is available. Now I want to get that. I want to get the develop branch changes to main branch. How can I do it? Git merge or rebase. Git rebase. I'm going for develop. Successfully rebase. Am I able to get the F2? Yes, I'm able to get the F2. So total, how many ways we can merge the changes from one branch to another branch? We can merge the changes from one branch to another branch in the three ways. What are the three ways? One is pull request, second one is merge, third one is rebase. In the reality, which one we are going to use? In the reality, we are going to use pull request. But in the interview, they will ask, what is the difference between merge and rebase? You can say, merge command will preserve committee history. Rebase command will not preserve committee history. Are you getting my point? What is the meaning of preserving the committee history? Order. When we committed to the develop branch, when we committed to the main branch, it will preserve the committee history. When you go for rebase, that committee history will not be preserved. Are you clear with my point? Yes. So with this, we are clear. Clone versus pull, push versus pull, git stash and git stash apply. Git stash and git stash apply. Fetch versus pull, merge versus rebase. Able to follow me? Yes, tell me. What is the difference between clone and pull? What is the difference between clone and pull? Clone is used to clone the complete project from remote to local. Pull to take only latest changes. What is the push? Push our changes to central. What is pull? Take only latest changes from the remote to our working tree directly. Now, stash. What is the purpose of git stash? It is used to store our working tree changes to temporary area. From the temporary area, I want to get the changes back to working tree. Then I will go for stash, apply. What is the fetch and pull? Fetch means from remote to local, not to working tree. To get to the working tree, we need to go for pull command. What is the difference between merge and rebase? What is the difference between merge and rebase? Merge command and rebase command, they are used to merge the changes from one repository to one branch to another branch. Merge will maintain the committee history. Rebase will not preserve the committee history. What is pull request? Pull request also for the same thing. If you want to merge the changes from one branch to another branch from the Git repository, then directly you can go for pull request. Clear? Now, let me summarize what we have discussed so far in the Git and Bitbucket. So first we discussed what is version control software and why that software. Can you tell me what is version control software and why we need to go for version control software? It is like a revision now. I want everybody to respond. What is version control software and why version control software? People will be working from different locations. To integrate all the developers code at one place, we need to go for version control software. Is it only for code integration? It is used for monitoring also. What is the meaning of monitoring? Who, when, why, what? When they modified the code, what they modified, why they modified, where they modified, everything we can track. Yesterday, my project code is working, but today it is not working. Can I track who has done the changes to the code? Yes. Version control software, not only for integration, it will provide monitored access also. Now, what are the version control softwares available in the market? What are version control softwares available in market? And SVN, GitHub and Bitbucket. SVN is outdated. Currently, people are going for GitHub and Bitbucket. What is the difference between GitHub and Bitbucket? What is the difference between GitHub and Bitbucket? They are from two different companies. GitHub is under license of Microsoft. Bitbucket, Atlassian company. Now, we are able to create GitHub setup. How we are doing the GitHub setup? Creating the account, creating the account, creating a token. What is the token? What is the token? Yeah, instead of the passwords, we are using token to connect with our GitHub repository. And we install Git to client software. Which client software we are using? We are using Git Bash. What is the Git Bash? It is a client which is used to communicate with the GitHub repository. And we discussed what is Git repo. What is Git repository? Can you tell me what is Git repository? Repository is a place where the project source code will be available. For one project, how many repositories will be available? Only one repository will be available for one project. What are the types of repositories? How many types of repositories we have in the GitHub? There are two types of repositories are available. What are those two types of repositories? One is a public repository, another one is a private repository. Public repository and private repository. What is the difference between public repository and private repository? Public means anybody can access. Private means only limited members can access. Repository access we need to perform. Then after that, we discussed about git bash command. We discussed about git bash command. So do you remember what are the commands we have learned? Yes, what are the commands, guys? Git help command, git help command, and we discussed git init command, and we discussed git add command, and git status command, and git restore command, git restore command, and we discussed git commit command, and we discussed git push command, git clone command, and git pull command, and git fetch command, and git stash command, and next one git merge command and git rebase command, git merge command and git rebase. What is a help? To get the frequently used git commands. What is git init? To initialize the empty repository. What is git add? To add the files to the staging area. What is the staging area? If you want to commit the file, first we need to add the file to the staging area. What is restore? What is git restore? Unstage that file or discard the changes. What is the commit command? Commit the files from local repository from staging to local. What is push? Local to central. What is the clone? Download from remote repository to local repository. Now, complete project. When you want to get the complete project, you will go for clone command. What is git pull? To get only latest changes from the remote to working tree directly. What is fetch command? What is fetch command? From remote to local. Now, what is the stash command? What is the stash command? To add the files to the stash area. What is the stash apply? From the stash to working tree. What is merge command? To merge the changes from one branch to another branch. What is rebase? Same. What is the difference? Preserving the commit history will not preserve the commit history. And we have seen git log command. What is the purpose of git log command? It is used to print the commit history. Okay. Then what is git rm command? It is used to remove one file from the remote repository. Then what is git revert command? What is git revert command? If you want to remove particular commit changes from the remote repository, we will go for git revert command. Are you getting my point? Yes. Then after that, we discussed about branches. We discussed about git branches. Why we need to go for branches? Why we need to go for branches? When multiple teams want to work parallelly, then we will go for git branches option. What are the branches available in the project? main branch, develop, feature, QA, UAT, release, like that. Can I create a branch with my own name? Yes, we can create the branch with our own name also. Git branches we understood, and we discussed about Git branch merging. How many ways we can merge the branches? There are three ways we can merge the branches. One is by using pull request. Second one by using merge command. Third one is by using rebase command. Right. Then after we discussed about merge conflicts. What is the meaning of merge conflict? Yes. When two developers are working on the same file with the same line, then there is a chance of getting the conflict. So do you know how to resolve the conflict? Yes, right. We know how to resolve the conflict. Then you can go for git branch command. What is git branch command? To check. Currently we are pointing to which branch. I want to switch from one branch to another branch. Then we can go for git checkout. After that, we discussed about what is .git ignore. What is the .git ignore? Yes. If you don't want to commit some files or some folders, you can configure them in the ignore file. If I configure a file or folder in the ignore file, what will happen? Git will ignore those files from the commit. So like target folder, are we going to commit? Do we need to commit the target folder? What is the target folder? Dot class files will be available. When our Maven project is created, the code will be compiled. Dot class files will be created in the target folder. Should I commit the target folder to the Git repository, or I should not commit that? I should not commit. How to tell to GitHub don't commit the target folder? By using .git ignore. All right, fine. If you go for the project, you can see here .git ignore file is available. And here, if you go for normal Maven projects, if you go for Maven projects, like for example, let me go for Spring Boot. So here workspace, SB first tab. Here .class path, .project is available, and target available, .settings available. So do I need to commit all these files or only src and pom.xml? Only src and pom.xml. How can I ignore the remaining files? By using .git ignore. Right. We are going to create .git ignore to ignore the files and folders from our commit. Yes. These commands they will ask in the interview also. And they will ask you what is your branching strategy in the project. What are the branches available in the project? From which branch the code will be deployed to the production, right? That branching strategy will change from project to project. Some people will deploy the code to the production from release branch. Some people will deploy the code from release branch to the production. In some projects, they will use the main branch to deploy the code to the production. You can tell anything because they will not come to your project to check that. Confidently, you need to sell. Confidently, we need to tell our code will be deployed from main branch to the production server. And they will ask a question, who will create Git repository in your project? Developers will create the Git repository or DevOps people will create the Git repository? As a developer, we need to send the email to the DevOps team with a JRTP ticket. Create a Git repository for our project. They will create the Git repository. In that Git repository, we need to create the branches. Repository will be created by the DevOps team. Branches will be created by developers only. Are you clear? Yes. Any questions, anyone? Anybody having any questions? So tomorrow, I'm going to show you what is tag in the GitHub. What is the tagging in the GitHub? What is the tag? So here, tag is available, releases are available, and how to use Git repository from our IDE directly. I think I have mic issue today. So tomorrow I will show you how to work with the tagging in the GitHub and how to perform Git operations from our IDE directly. Got my point? Yes. Any questions? Any questions, anyone? .gitignore file you can create as a normal text file. Online people, please stay back. I will connect in 5 minutes for your doubts clarification. Right. Offline students, any questions? So tomorrow also we'll continue on the GitHub. One small topic is the tagging in the GitHub. Yes, sir. Yeah, you can apply multiple stashes also. When you go for multiple stashes, it will maintain the stash based on the index. Index will start from 0, stash 0, stash 1, stash 2 like that. You can create multiple stashes also. Based on the index, you can apply that stash. Right. How to work with .gitignore? Which command to run for that? You don't need to run any command. You just need to create that file. Git will consider that file. No command for gitignore. Gitignore is just like a text file we are going to create, and whatever the files you want to add, you can just add it. That's it. We don't need to do anything for that. Just to keep that file in the project repository. That's it. Yeah. Any other questions? So today evening, we'll discuss Spring Boot internals. Evening 5 o'clock, we have the class. Thank you. We'll see you today evening. Fine, guys.